Every Star Wars story is steeped in sacrifice, but some sacrifices hit harder than others. In this countdown, we're ranking the top 10 most painful sacrifices in Star Wars, not just in terms of heroism or consequence, but gut-wrenching emotional weight. Each sacrifice will be scored on a pain level from 1 to 10, with 10 out of 10 being the most heartbreaking of them all. Brace yourself for impact, this is going to hurt. Number 10, Jun Sato. General Jun Sato was a steady tactical leader in Star Wars Rebels, introduced as the head of Phoenix Cell. He worked closely with the Ghost Crew, coordinating missions with Hera Syndulla, backing up Ezra Bridger, and helping unify scattered rebel factions. While not as flashy as some of his allies, Sato's quiet strength and willingness to sacrifice made him a pillar of the early rebellion. But it was his final act in the Season 3 finale, 0 Hour, that defined him, ramming his ship into an Imperial interdictor to break General Thrawn's blockade and allow his team to escape.
Hera, what's Sato doing?
He's drawing that ship out of position. Get ready to jump.
Wait. No!
It was a noble military sacrifice, decisive, necessary, and without hesitation. But emotionally, it doesn't hit as hard. We never saw much of his personal life, and his character stayed mostly in the background. His death mattered tactically, but it wasn't deeply personal like some of the others on this list. Pain level 4 out of 10 for heroic and meaningful, but not deeply emotional. Number 9, Ganner Rysode. In the New Jedi Order Traitor, Ganner Rysode went from cocky Jedi Knight to full-blown legend. During a desperate mission with Jacen Solo, Ganner single-handedly held off an entire army of Yuuzhan Vong to buy Jacen time to escape. He made his last stand at the entrance to the World Brain Chamber, cutting down wave after wave of enemies in a moment so epic they thought he was a god. It's one of the most cinematic deaths in Legends, a pure warrior's sacrifice. But it doesn't land higher on our pain scale because Ganner dies fulfilled. His arc resolves with redemption and clarity. He knew what he was doing, and he chose it. Pain level 5 out of 10 for unforgettable and epic, but more triumphant than tragic. Number 8, Ben Solo. Ben Solo's final act is the kind of sacrifice that echoes through generations. After a lifetime spent in the shadow of Darth Vader, wrestling with the legacy of both the Skywalkers and the Solos, Ben finally turns back to the light. He doesn't just help Rey, he saves her, giving up his life to bring her back from death. It's a moment of pure love, pure clarity, the kind of decision his father Han and his mother Leia always believed he was capable of. It's the redemption fans hoped for, and it hits hard. For a brief second, he's no longer Kylo Ren. He's Ben, whole, healed, and at peace. But there's a reason this lands at a 5 out of 10 on the pain scale. As meaningful as it is, the moment comes fast. His redemption arc feels rushed, squeezed into the final stretch of the film. We don't get to sit with his transformation, or fully process his loss. Number 7, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan's final moment on the Death Star is one of the earliest and most defining sacrifices in Star Wars. Surrounded by stormtroopers and face-to-face with his former apprentice, he chooses not to win, but to let go. In that quiet moment, Obi-Wan becomes one with the Force, trusting that Luke is ready to carry the spark forward. It's a profound, purposeful death, rooted in wisdom, not desperation. Obi-Wan wasn't defeated, he transcended, and yet, for all its weight, the emotional impact at the time wasn't as devastating. In A New Hope, we knew him only briefly. His deeper journey, his failures with Anakin, his years in exile, his lonely hope came later in the saga. By the time we truly understand him, he's already gone. That makes the moment sad in hindsight, but not immediately heartbreaking. He dies with peace, not pain. Pain level 6 out of 10 for legendary, meaningful, but more serene than shattering. Number 6, Luke Skywalker. Luke's force projection on Crate is one of the most powerful displays of Jedi mastery we've ever seen, an act of pure will and purpose. Isolated on Ahch-To, he projects himself across the galaxy to confront Kylo Ren and buy time for the Resistance to escape. It's not just a fight, it's a message, a reminder that hope can stand tall even when broken. But the cost is everything. The effort drains what little strength he has left. As twin suns set on Ahch-To, Luke peacefully becomes one with the Force, his final moment echoing the binary sunset of his youth. It's poetic, symbolic, and undeniably heroic. Still, it's a quiet passing. There's no blood, no chaos, just a gentle return to the Force. Like Obi-Wan, Luke leaves the world on his own terms. The pain isn't in the way he dies. It's in the weight of his life, the loneliness, the exile, and the final choice to believe again. Pain level 7 out of 10 for being mythic and deeply moving, but more bittersweet than brutal. Number 5, Paz Vizsla. In Season 3 of The Mandalorian, Paz Vizsla proves why he's one of the toughest warriors in the clan. A relentless force who throws himself into battle without hesitation. When a squad of Imperial commandos attacks, Paz steps up as the frontline defense, holding them off with unmatched grit and strength. Despite his raw power, he's eventually overwhelmed and falls in battle. What makes Paz's death hit harder than just another casualty is the subtle shift we saw in his character. For much of the series, he was a fierce, no-nonsense fighter, loyal to tradition and honor. But as the story progressed, we saw him soften, his growing respect for Din Djarin, his protective instinct toward Grogu, and even moments of unexpected kindness showed there was more to him than just muscle and armor. That personal growth made his sacrifice sting. It wasn't just a warrior lost, it was a man who had begun to open his heart, only to be taken too soon. His final stand wasn't just about battle. It was a painful farewell to a character we were just starting to truly know and root for. Pain level 7 out of 10, a brutal loss made deeper by the promise of what Paz could have become. Number 4, the Rogue One crew. Cassian Andor, Jyn Erso, Chirrut Imwe, Baze Malbus, and Bodhi Rook all knew they weren't coming back. They stormed Scarif not for survival, but for hope. Every one of them made the conscious choice to give their lives for a chance at defeating the Empire. That kind of sacrifice is rare. It wasn't just one heroic moment. It was a chain reaction of bravery, where each death pushed the mission forward. Bodhi gets the signal out before he's taken down. Chirrut walks through blaster fire with nothing but his faith in the Force. Baze charges in to honor him, choosing loyalty over life. And Cassian and Jyn, battered and broken, stay just long enough to see the transmission go through, then face the end together on the beach. There's no last-minute escape, no miracle rescue, just the calm acceptance that their lives bought the future. What makes this hit so hard is how grounded it is. These aren't Force wielders or legendary warriors. They're rebels, spies, and believers. And though we only knew them in one film, their impact ripples throughout the entire saga. Their sacrifice mattered. It sparked the rebellion's first real victory. Outside of Andor, their story is a powerful reminder that even brief moments can change everything. Pain level 8 out of 10 for deeply heroic and undeniably tragic. The emotional weight comes from the collective cost, not individual grief. They didn't just die for the cause, they became the cause. And here we go, the top 3 most painful sacrifices in Star Wars. Number 3, Anakin Skywalker. After a lifetime of torment, betrayal, and darkness, Anakin Skywalker's final act is both heartbreaking and heroic. In a fleeting moment of clarity and love, he turns on Emperor Palpatine to save his son Luke. That choice costs him everything: his power, his life, and the last chance to fully reclaim the man he once was. What makes Anakin's final sacrifice so devastating isn't just the searing pain or the fiery fall. It's the lifetime of torment behind it. Years spent shackled by darkness, lost to the man he once was. Friendships shattered, family broken, and a soul weighed down by regret. In his last breath, he sheds the mask of Vader and embraces Anakin Skywalker once more. A fleeting moment of redemption drenched in love, paid for with everything he has left. It's a sacrifice layered with tragedy and hope. We mourn the chosen one lost to darkness for so long, yet we also feel the bittersweet relief of his redemption, a healing that comes too late but remains deeply powerful. His death closes the circle of Anakin Skywalker's journey, reminding us that even the darkest paths can still find a spark of light. Pain level, a solid 8 out of 10. A deeply emotional, brutal, and complex sacrifice that resonates beyond the moment itself. It's agony and salvation intertwined. Number 2, Tech. Tech's final moment in The Bad Batch Season 2 isn't just heartbreaking because of the way he dies, it's the weight of who he was that makes it shatter so deeply.
There is no time, Wrecker. Man 99, when have we ever followed orders?
Tech wasn't just any clone, he was the team's brilliant tactician, their calm, methodical problem solver, the voice of reason in chaos, the one who kept the group grounded with logic and precision. He was the quiet heart behind their unbreakable bond. But when the squad faced an impossible threat, Tech made the ultimate choice. He unclips, letting himself fall to his death so his brothers could escape. There's no grand heroic showdown or dramatic last words, just a cold, sudden fall that rips the air from your lungs. And then his final words ring out, filled with irony, defiance, and heartbreaking love. When have we ever followed orders? It's a line that perfectly sums up who Tech was. Loyal, fierce, and fiercely independent. What makes his sacrifice one of the most painful isn't just the loss of a teammate, it's losing the mind behind their survival, the friend who was always there to solve the impossible. It's the gut-wrenching realization that the family they've fought so hard to protect is now incomplete. Tech's death leaves a wound that won't easily heal, casting a long shadow over the remaining members of the Bad Batch and their fight for identity, freedom, and survival. Pain level, 9 out of 10 for its sudden, brutal, and deeply personal. Tech's sacrifice is a silent blow that lingers long after the screen fades to black. It's the heartbreak of losing not just a life, but a part of your soul. Number 1, Kanan Jarrus. And here it is, the most painful sacrifice in all of Star Wars. Kanan Jarrus, a true embodiment of everything the Jedi stand for. Courage, selflessness, and unwavering hope. Faces his final moments with quiet strength. During a desperate mission to rescue Ezra and the rest of the crew from the Empire, Kanan puts his life on the line to ensure the Ghost crew can escape. As a massive fireball erupts, he uses the Force to hold it back, buying precious seconds for his found family to flee. What makes this sacrifice so gut-wrenching isn't just the physical agony of being burned alive, but the emotional weight of the moment. Blind but resolute, Kanan knew his time was coming, something the mysterious Bendu had hinted at, urging him to accept his fate with calm and courage. Like the ancient Jedi he embodies, Kanan stands for hope, sacrifice, and the quiet strength of the Force. His final act is not just about battle, it's about love, legacy, and the ultimate price of being a true Jedi. In those final moments, though his eyes no longer see, Kanan reaches out to Hera, the woman he loves, connecting with her one last time. Kanan doesn't just give his life, he gives up everything. The future he was building with Hera, the hope he carried for the rebellion, and the family he found aboard the Ghost. Yet there's an even deeper loss. Kanan doesn't just save his crew, he saves the mother of his child. The death is heroic, yes, but also heartbreak in its purest, most profound form. It's a powerful reminder that in Star Wars, sacrifice is about more than war. It's about love, legacy, and the echoes of what remains unspoken. Pain level, off the charts. The ultimate soul-crushing sacrifice that combines raw physical suffering with heartbreaking emotional goodbye. It's a loss that echoes long after the flames die out. And there you have it, the top 10 most painful sacrifices in Star Wars. But before we close out, let's quickly salute some honorable mentions. Sacrifices that carried weight even if they didn't quite reach the top of our pain scale. Vice Admiral Holdo's stunning lightspeed collision in The Last Jedi was a breathtaking display of resolve and sacrifice. While her act was visually unforgettable and crucial for the Resistance's survival, the emotional impact leans more on the spectacle than a deeply personal journey, earning her a solid 3 out of 10. Val from Solo gave her life to blow a vital bridge during a mission that unfortunately failed. It's a brave act, but with limited screen time and character development, her sacrifice resonates less emotionally, hence a modest 3 out of 10. Then there's the question of droid sacrifices. IG-11 from The Mandalorian and K2SO from Rogue One. Both faced death with loyalty and courage that would place them high on any pain scale if they were human. 7 out of 10 seems fair. But can a machine truly feel pain? Finally, Paige Tico's sacrifice in The Last Jedi. She bravely stayed behind to fire the first shot, giving the Resistance a fighting chance. Her act was raw, urgent, and deeply personal, making her sacrifice stand out. Yet, because we saw so little of her before that moment, the emotional impact is powerful but brief, earning a solid 3 out of 10 on the pain scale. These honorable mentions remind us that sacrifice in Star Wars comes in many forms, some loud and heroic, others quiet and overlooked, but each plays a vital role in the saga's grand tapestry of courage and loss. So, which Star Wars sacrifice hit you the hardest? Not every painful goodbye made the list, but the ones that did, they carved their place in the galaxy through blood, fire, and heartbreak. May the Force be with them, and with you. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for the fallen heroes, and for more deep Star Wars dives just like this one.